Vancity Exclusive. This is the Archivest, y'all.
Straight.
Interviewing Canada's acclaimed group, the Rascalz.
Ah, shit. What's up, what's up, what's up?
And who is the Rascalz?
Rascalz are a hip-hop group out of Vancity that we represent all the elements of hip-hop when we started out. Not only represent Vancouver, I think we represent Canada worldwide as far as music goes, and we've been doing our thing for 15, 16, 17 years, and we're still going strong. That's what we are, you know what I'm saying? OGs up in this biatch.
And tell us, when the record's really living and the cash crop reaching pinnacle status, putting Vancouver on the map, what did this do for you three as a group and the history behind it?
Got us a few awards, some videos, national recognition. You know, it gave us just a vibe of separating us from locals to becoming national. So it was definitely hype trademark in the years of our careers. But other than that, I mean, it was what any rap group has to do. So, you know, make your album and get it out there.
But also with Really Living, I don't think it really put Vancouver on the map. I think Really Living more put Rascalz out there and had everybody asking, who are these guys and where are they from? And then I think everything we did after that helped put Vancity on the map as far as what we did. The warning shot, like, yo, you know what I'm saying?
For sure. And for Canada, holding it down, collaborating with KRS-One, Afura, Chaos, The Beatnuts, The Alchemist, Barrington Levy, and Montreal's Mazion, and pioneers Cardinal Offshell, Choclair, to name a few. What was your best experience? Your resume is very impressive.
Barrington was for me. Like I still will always remember the day he went to the booth and he started singing the hook for Top of the World. Chaos was there, Saul G was there, he was there, I was there, Kimo was there. I just remember looking at Chaos and we were just like, whoa, like there was a vibe in that room, and I remember that vibe very well. For me, what about you?
Performing with them guys, performing with KRS, was probably the livest time that I had, and the most talked about basically in the hip hop world and subject matter. It's like, you perform with KRS, yes, and so that's about that.
And how was it to be signed to a major and then being put on Rap Essentials Volume 1 and many more compilations? Share with us your thoughts and favorites being featured.
It was cool. By the time we got on Rap Essentials, we had already had like a whole record out, and we were already doing our thing, and it was like we were kind of already on the road to establishing who the Rascalz were. And Rap Essentials was more like a CD that was helping the East Coast rappers establish themselves. So at that point, we were kind of already in the game a bit more. So it was cool to be on Rap Essentials, and like, you know, I was glad we were on the first two, and yeah, and it was definitely instrumental in getting us out there to a lot more people and a lot more audience on the East and whatever. But we were kind of already out there on the level still by the time Rap Essentials came out.
That's also how I heard about you guys, because I did get Rap Essentials Volume 1 at HMV, so right. I was really stunned to hear who you guys were, because I never seen you live or nothing. So.
Right, that's what I was saying. A lot of people really didn't know we were from Canada, which we thought was a good thing, because it wasn't like, yo, these guys are from Vancouver, from whatever. It was more like, yo, these guys are dope. Because, you know, a lot of times, like I was telling somebody in an interview the other day, Drake has actually, to me, taken the stigma off of being a Canadian MC. Like before it was, Red One, you're one of my dopest MCs from Canada. Or, you know what I mean, Cardinal, you're one of the dopest MCs in Canada. Like, you know, but now it's just, you're Drake, you're just one of the dopest MCs. My favorite. So, like, I think people, like, you know, I'm more on that vibe right now.
And winning a Juno in 1998, obtaining the album cash crop for Best Rap Recording, being the Canadian hip-hop group to decline the award. Can you explain? And then the next year, taking it for Northern Touch and performing on national television.
Well, being the first from Vancouver is you know, something to speak about and to remember. I guess obtaining the Juno Award is a national kind of status acquirement that can make a group feel good. Turning down the award is kind of something that we did on a political level, just more so for the fans and for the music than for us. I think that it was just mentioning that we want the hip-hop to the level where all the other musics are, you know, just on the level of 50-50. So we had to speak out, and so on that level, it was something that we had to do. And hopefully, you know, in years to come and the years that have passed, it's left that mark that, yeah, Rascalz said this for hip-hop and not just for Rascalz. But then again, the next year obtaining an award for Northern Touch, it was kind of like hand in hand. I mean, we did the track, and they had a collaboration with other Canadian artists at the time. So, and since then, it's been a big track for Canada on the whole. So it was kind of like a gimme to get that Juno. But we also did work for that, and we did the video and traveled and performed many places and promoted that track quite a bit. So we deserved it.
And Northern Touch, a hit Canadian single featuring Checkmate, Cardinal, Thrust, Choclair, being on the biggest Canadian hit ever recorded. Let us know the history.
Really, that was a track for a J-Swing mixtape. Did the track, and then we were like, yo, we should get all these guys to jump on it too. So Salji was in Toronto, going to Toronto, and we hollered at Cardi and those guys. They jumped on the track. Cardi laid down the hook. And kind of the label, Sony BMG, they were feeling it. They were like, yo, let's put this out. We got Lil X to direct the video, and the rest was history.
And Red One, tell us about Kilowatt Records and what this has done for you, being the general and an independent label with a new line of artists.
It just, you know, it's good to basically be able to just try to apply the certain things you've learned in the music industry, the good and the bad. You know, try to avoid the bad, but apply the good things you've learned and try to help some young guys come up and do their thing. And I mean, like, I'm always going to be in music, whether it's behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, producing, rapping, songwriting, whatever, you know what I mean? So I'm just trying to just use some of the talents that I've acquired and just, you know, help that next generation take it to that next level further than where we ever could take it, you know what I mean?
And Misfit, tell us about your radio career and living out east for the last little while.
My radio career, wow, I think that's been a lifetime event, but living out east, it was more on a level of not so much above hip-hop, but dealing with more global issues and also down-to-earth issues of corner-to-corner, block-to-block kind of deal. So from coming out from Vancouver, it wasn't too much different, but just being in the area where there are a lot more striving artists and people that are actually rhyming on corners and doing that thing and calling that hip hop for the day was a pleasure to see, and also brings the attitude and the kind of thinking about hip hop more grimy or more gutter. So it brings out more of the anxiousness and seeing other people that are there that haven't done what I've done and been able to do, just to say, yo, keep this up and, you know, do this, make this kind of move, and, you know, maybe you'll get to where you can make a video and other people are going to get down with what you have to say.
Beg for nothing. Share with us your success off this solo record.
It's cool. It's just like, you know, I put my thing out, my videos out, traveled all over the world, did shows in Haiti and the stage, got to rock Sobeys in New York. You know what I'm saying? Out there, was on Hot 97, Hot New Artist of the Month, like, went back across Canada again, was like just all over the place. So it was another chance really to just get out there, go see the world, do some more music. Took me back to Colombia, went back to, you know what I'm saying, it's Chile. It's just a continuing the legacy of what we do, hard work and stuff we've been putting down over the years.
And what's the biggest crowd you've ever rocked in the history of Rascalz?
I would say
Canada Day, Drum Rhythm Festival.
We've been up to like
Colombia.
20, 30, 40,000 crowds. So we've done rock like stupid crowds. Like crowds where you need glasses to see where the end of the people are.
And what's some of your best Vancouver hip hop memories you could share with us?
EPMD coming to Vancouver, seeing EQ perform and come up. Kilo C, watching Busta Rhymes and Leaders of the New School come here when they were like Nobody and Hungry Eye, I think it was. Just watching the scene grow, man. Like all the different artists that came here. I was sitting down with Clef and Lauryn Hill at Soundcheck at Richards on Richards at the very first Fuji album, just talking to them about, you know, music, and like there were nobody knew who they were, you know what I mean? Like, so just the different artists that you've gotten a chance, opportunity to meet and come through, and you know what I mean, and just watching the scene grow to where it is now.
And this is the reunion. You have three as a group come back for more than 5 years. It's very remarkable. Share us with your thoughts and new plans to take a hot spotlight since the late 90s.
We just doing our thing, you know. Everybody got to eat, so, you know, we've been eating. So, you know, you have to let the man them eat some food. Now we're hungry again, so it's time to eat some more food. That's all it is, really.
And you guys got any shouts?
Shout out to the whole motherfucking world. kilowatt in your mouth.
And this is the Archivest, and you already know the name, y'all. Yeah, we're with DJ Chemo from the Rascalz. Tell us when the record's Really Livin' and Cash Crop reached its pinnacle status, putting Vancouver on the map. What did this do for you as a group and the producer and history behind it?
Yeah, I mean, okay, Really Livin' was kind of just the jump off, and then Cash Crop was kind of the solidified, and that's when we had it released through a major label, which was really a lot of help. Obviously, it put us definitely on the radar. I think with Really Livin', we got a little buzz going, and then with Cash Crop and Northern Touch, that's when we really, made a solid name in the hip-hop history, I guess, for Canada.
And how was it to be signed as a major and then put on Rap Essentials Volume 1 and many other compilations? Share some of your favorites being featured.
I mean, it was all a blessing, you know what I mean? Like, that's the stuff we were trying to achieve for, and we finally, got it. So it was a beautiful thing. It was just kept going, did what we did and tried to keep it moving.
And Crazy World featuring Sazon Demonte. Would you like to share the recording and history of your brother's legacy?
Well, my brother, he was in a group initially called Nitwits. We're talking like 96, I think. He was always recording. We kind of did that track. He kind of started doing a few more solo tracks later on at about that time, like 99 and 2000. I met up with this kid, Don Primo, in Toronto, and I thought he was really ill, so I wanted to have them two collaborate. And we came up with the song La Calle. I ended up putting it on the 12-inch for Don Primo. I invested in his record. I was like, yeah, I want to put your record out, a couple grand, and pressed up some vinyl for him. I really wanted to help him out. Yeah, at the time we weren't really thinking of doing, my brother he was just rapping, you know what I mean? It wasn't like he was like, oh, I'm going to be a rapper, I'm going to put out a record. He just did it, you know what I mean? That's what he did. He liked doing it. After he passed, I wanted to promote that song and do a 12-inch for him. So I pressed up a few, maybe only 1,000, 2,000 copies, whatever.
And share with us your production history and recently building your group, the Vanguards, obtaining a Juno for Dangerous featuring Akon.
Well, originally it was I always had the name Lab Rats, and I had a few people that I kind of worked with back in the day, but nothing was ever really solid. So a few homies that I had from back in the day started making beats, and along with another fellow named Hazel, who came from Oklahoma, we met up, and he was working on the same format, Reason. So we're like, yo, we all just started collaborating, and we came up with a name. It took a while, but we came up with a name because Lab Rats was being used by a few other different people. But just so everyone knows, I had it first with I think there was a few Rascal records that say Lab Rats from 92, 93. Just so if anybody wants to argue that shit.
And where's your favorite place to tour? And what's your best Canadian hip-hop movement you've been part of or contributed to?
To tour? Well, to tell you the truth, we haven't toured many countries per se. I mean, we've been to a few we've done one-off shows here and there. So I can't really say my favorite place to tour because that's limited experience.
And do you have anything to share of Vancity's greatest historical memories that the Rascalz have been part of, just in general, that people might have missed?
You mean outside of Vancouver?
In Vancouver.
Oh, in Vancouver.
That Rascalz were part of, or...
Honestly, one show that I really fucking thought was the shit was the Leaders of the fucking New School at the venue called the Hungry Eye. That was a really classic show, along with Souls of Mischief show in North Van, an outdoor event. Forget what the name of it was, but yeah, those were two really good memories.
And tell us about the new things that you're working on and about your production career in general, just what the Vanguards we can check out.
Last year we did 10 tracks on the NBA Jam, the new one coming out. So you can check for that. Other than that, I'm just working on random projects, helping Erica D on her mixtape. local artists, as well as what else we got? I did some production work on Fito Blanco's new single called "Wine for Me." As far as Vanguards go, you know, we're just trying to get placements right now. Hopefully, one of those, you know, gets on a big record. We'll see what happens.
And you got any shouts?
Shout out all the Vanguards, Vago, Hazel, my boy Big Syph in LA, Don Cristo, my man Fact Jackson, and shout out my baby girl Sophia.
And this is the Archivest, and you already know the name, y'all.
Yes, sir.